Hello my craft friends, welcome to Sweet Bay Lane. In this video, we're going to be working with the fun Dollar Tree wood cutouts. Now they have these wood cutouts for every season, but in this video, we're going to be working with the Halloween wood cutouts. And just in case you're new here, my name is Tracy, and on this channel we love to craft, DIY, and we always love a good life hack. So welcome to Sweet Bay Lane. Now let's jump into our projects. For our first DIY, we're going to be working with the witch's cauldron with the little witch legs hanging out of it. Along with that, you're going to need a wood plaque of some sort. Now we start by painting our witch's cauldron. Now you can do this any color you prefer, but I'm going to be using this green with a little black mixed in. Now that we have that part painted, we're going to let it dry. And while that's drying, we're going to paint the little boots black. Now that we have our boots painted black, we're going to move on to processing our wood plaque. And for this step, you're going to need your wood plaque along with some either wood cubes, tumbling tower game pieces, or like I'm using these square dowel pieces I had left over from another project. And we're just going to glue our pieces down. And while we're gluing them, we want to make sure there's a space in between them. And the space is going to be an 1/8 of an inch because that's what the width of our little witch's cauldron measures. Because what we want to do is we want that to fit between our wood pieces. Once we have that glued down and measured, we'll set it aside to dry completely. We'll move back to our little witch's cauldron. And in this step, we're just going to paint on some black stripes onto our witch's tights. How cute are those little stripes? Once we have our stripes done, we now want to make her little buckles on her boots white. Now we're going to take some chalkboard paint and we're going to paint the banner on our cauldron. And I like to do 3 coats with my chalkboard paint. Now we set that aside to dry. Now that our wood plaque is dry, we're going to paint that black. Now that everything's dry, we're moving on to our next step. And that's going to be adding a vinyl decal that says Days Until Halloween. And you can find the decal in my shop, sweetbaylane.com. Look at how cute that is! I can't wait to use this for a countdown calendar. And the best part is it fits right in its little stand here. That way you can store it away easily after Halloween by taking it out of its stand and laying it flat. Now we're moving on to DIY number 2. And in this DIY, we're using the Frankenstein wood cutout. And we're going to start by painting it green, both front and back. Now that we have it painted green and it's dried completely, we're going to come in and dry brush with the black acrylic. Oh, look at him! He looks so perfect! And look at his little hair up there on top. I didn't even mean to do that, but it does look like hair. It's so cute! For this next step, we're going to flip our project over, and we need a set of twinkle lights, battery-operated twinkle lights. I'm going to be using these green ones I purchased from the Dollar Tree. Now that we have our set of twinkle lights picked out, we're going to need some felt. I'm going to be using this green felt because I had it on hand. I also purchased it from Hobby Lobby, and we're going to cut little pieces of felt. Once we have our felt cut out, we're going to glue our battery pack to the back side of our Frankenstein cutout, just making sure that the access door to our battery pack is facing up. That way we can change our batteries very easily. Now that we have our battery pack attached, we're going to take some hot glue and felt strips, and we're going to glue our light strand around the back side of our wood cutout. Now I'm using mine in a wreath, but if you want to use yours just as a door hanger, I would suggest gluing the battery pack to the center of his wood cutout face on the back. That way it hangs straight. Okay, this strand worked out perfectly on the back side of my cutout. Then you're left with this adorable, or should I say spooky, Frankenstein face. And I love it lit up at night. Now we're moving on to DIY number 3. The wood pieces we'll be using in this DIY are a wood round and a spooky little haunted house. And we start by painting our house black. Once we have that done, we're going to paint our wood round a beautiful yellow. Once we're done painting our wood round and it's dried, we're then going to just distress the edges with a little bit of sandpaper. This next step is really fun. It's obviously optional, but I wanted to try this glow-in-the-dark Rust-Oleum spray paint. So I took my wood round out and I painted it with 3 coats. Once it's dried, I brought it back inside and we're going to attach our little spooky haunted house to the front side of our wood round. And as you can see, we want it to look like a giant moon behind the house. And I just glued my house down with some hot glue. It's looking so cute already. Now for this next step, we're going to be adding a trail of bats going out in front of the moon. And for that, I just printed out a sheet of different size bats using some black permanent vinyl. If you like what you see so far, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We'd love to have you here at Sweet Bay Lane. I love how the bats came out. They're so cute. Now, I wanted to add a hanger to mine, and you can use the twine hanger that came with the wood round, or you can use your favorite ribbon. And I'm going to be using some of this black and white gingham. I'm going to add a hanger and a little bow at the top of my spooky door. Then you're left with this adorable, spooky little decor piece. And look at it at night. Now we're moving on to DIY number 4. For this DIY, you'll need one of those jack-o'-lantern pumpkin wood cutouts. And for mine, I'm going to be painting it black on both sides. Once I had it painted black, I then came in and gave it a little distressing with some sandpaper. I then wanted to add a little more detail to my pumpkin face, and I came in with this white paint pen and added a stitch pattern around the eyes, nose, mouth, and around the entire pumpkin. We'll then turn it over and we're going to add this cute little out of candy decal on the back side of our jack-o'-lantern. I showed this project to my husband and he said, "We can't hang that out in our neighborhood. We'll have a house full of eggs and a yard full of toilet paper." Once we have our decal attached, we're now going to add a hanger and a detail, a stitch detail around the outer edge with our paint pen. Then you're left with this cute little sign just to let your trick-or-treaters know that you're out of candy. I love how all 4 of these projects came out. But which one was your favorite?